Okay, welcome everybody. Shabbat Shalom. It's your boy Sosa coming to you with new content that I'm putting on my channel. Everything based off of where we are in the world in comparison to where we are scripturally, biblically. The first topic I wanted to touch today was a topic of a study that brother TCA Thoughts Camera Action, he did a study on if chicken were clean or if they were unclean. And I just think that a lot is left for speculation after watching both of the studies, both segments. And I really want to kind of chime in and put things into perspective a lot more. And I want to touch on just the process of him putting that study together and where we are, because I read a lot of the comments. I commented, and you do see a lot of people saying, "Oh, okay, yeah, the chicken's bad." After just watching this study, then you also get some people that aren't on the same page. So it's a division, and I want to kind of bring things full circle and incorporate the scripture itself more, because in his study he went into other books that he read, such as one that I'm gonna break down to you, the letter of Aristeas, and just kind of how that fits with the scripture. And just so you know, as a premise or a basis, I want to prove that whatever you do in life, when dealing with doing the will of the Most High, following the teachings of Yeshua, being led by the Ruach, you can do all of those things with just the Bible. You don't need the Apocrypha. You don't need the Book of Enoch. You don't need these other books and letters. I'm not saying that you cannot read and study and cross-reference those other books, because you can. But I want to prove that you do not need anything else. And it's very clear that you don't. And we'll get to that a little bit later. So, to start off, hold on here, let me bring this up real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, to start off, I'm going to read Deuteronomy 22, 6 through 7. And mind you, this is something that I did not hear in the studies that I watched of TCA. So I'm not sure if he addressed this or not. But it goes as follows. If you come across a bird's nest beside the road, either in a tree or on the ground, and the mother is sitting on the young or on the eggs, do not take the mother with the young. You may take the young, but be sure to let the mother go, so that it may go well with you, and you may have a long life. So, as I read this, many of the comments talk about, getting rid of the chicken isn't such a big deal, but getting rid of eggs, because eggs is in everything, now that's a problem. That's something that's a lot harder. That's a struggle. This clearly tells you, right here, that when it pertains to a bird, it doesn't specify which bird, but it does say that you may take the young. So you may have a long life. So just thinking about, okay, maybe not to eat the young. Well, what would give you the long life? It just seems that it would be the eggs. That you would keep the young would grow, and they'll lay eggs. And you'll be able to keep the eggs. Now, in the comments, I also read that the eggs were like aborted, like aborted babies and things, just outrageous statements, like outrageous. So I wanted to touch on what is a regular egg that a hen lays. Eggs will be unfertilized if the hen has no access to a rooster, which means the egg will never develop and hatch into a chick. In general, hens become mature enough to lay eggs around 6 months of age, though this varies by breed. The first eggs laid may have soft shells or abnormal shapes. As we go down here, are the eggs we eat unfertilized. Most eggs sold commercially in the grocery store are from poultry farms and have not been fertilized. In fact, laying hens at most commercial farms have never even seen a rooster. Given the right nutrients, hens will lay eggs with or without having been in the presence of a rooster. So you see, the egg itself is just like, take a woman for example, a woman's eggs. Now those eggs inside of the womb of the woman, those eggs are not fertilized. You could take that egg out, put that egg in somebody else, they transplant and do that $30,000-$40,000. You can sell an egg and give it to somebody else, and there's no life inside of the egg yet. There's the making for the creation of life, of course, but the seed of copulation is not in the egg, so the egg is not fertilized. So the human being that would grow, or the animal in this case, the chick that would grow inside of the egg, is not present because there was no male to fertilize the egg. So this is not an aborted baby, for the person who left that comment. Do your research. This is what this study is going to be about. Do your own research. Don't just say stuff because you feel a certain way, because things make sense to you. Because some of the stupidest things in the world make sense to us. Trust me. We'll get into that a little more. But yes, that is an unfertilized egg, just for your information. Now, when dealing with, we'll go to clean and unclean. What is clean and unclean? Because people have this way of thinking, this train of thought, that clean and unclean is where the Bible lays it and states it in Leviticus and throughout the Bible, that is just one flat way. Now, I'm going to prove right now that it's not what you think it is. So, a long time ago, I had a friend. That friend, for me, a strawberry. I can eat 1,000,000 strawberries, never get sick, nothing will happen. That's clean for me. This is biblically a clean fruit, as far as I know. But that same strawberry that nourishes me would put her into a casket. It'll put her into a grave. She'll die from eating that. So that quote unquote clean fruit is made unclean with inside of her, and it's deadly. We're going to go into something I rung up here. All right, let's go to this first. 32 million Americans are living with potentially life-threatening food allergies. 377% increase in treatment of diagnosed anaphylactic reactions to food between 2007 and 2016. Every 3 minutes, a food allergy reaction sends someone to the emergency room. What are the most common food allergens? Milk, eggs, peanuts, soy, wheat, tree nuts, fish, shellfish, sesame. So, outside of what we're discussing with potentially eggs and shellfish, you would see pretty much everything else on this list as something that's clean. Walnuts, cashews, wheat. We all eat bread, wheat, peanuts, milk, drink milk, sesame, fish, as long as it has fins and scales, right? Wrong. Because I have another friend, one of my best friends. He eats any fish. It has fins and scales, halibut, trout, whatever. Done. He's done. He won't be my best friend anymore because he'll be gone. So it's not clean for him. So these are things that you need to definitely take into account when you say, oh, don't eat this, eat that. Or you need to think about, yeah, people are allergic to many different things. Even fruit. Even vegetables. Even nuts. Seasonings. So I just wanted to touch on that. That don't get caught up in, oh, just because I think it's clean or because it's biblically clean, that it's clean for me, because it may not be. It could be deadly for you. So I want to get into this. And this is, even though we're talking about the chicken and food, clean and clean, this is the more important, I would say, part of this discussion. So he went to these letters here. Many people have never heard of this. I've never heard of these letters before. And one thing I would like to touch on is Yah the author of confusion? No, not at all. Satan is. Yah is not. How does he tell you to come to him? Humble, like that of a child, knowing that your wisdom is foolishness in his eyes. The scriptures are made to where a child is supposed to be able to understand it. To even find these letters, I didn't even know how to spell the name. I've never seen these letters ever before, never heard of them ever before, until thoughts brought them to the table. That's not simple. That's not as simple for a child. Grown man, 40 years old, never heard of this. Do research all the time. My whole life is filled with it. Never heard of this. So it's not a simple thing. It's a confusing process. Is it Aristeas with a D? It was a confusing process to find this. So let's read a brief synopsis from the Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica. Let's see what they say about these letters. Letter of Aristeas, pseudepigraphal work of pseudo-history produced in Alexandria, probably in the mid-2nd century BC, to promote the cause of Judaism through the size and prestige of the Jewish community, had already secured for itself a definite place in Alexandrian society, and serious anti-Semitism had not yet gained currency. The Jewish community was in conflict. While some Jews embraced Greek culture and philosophy, others refused any rapprochement with Hellenistic culture. The author's purpose was to present Judaism in a favorable light to pagans and make strict observance of religious laws attractive to Hellenistic Jews. The author assumed the name of a 2nd century BC writer and purported to give a contemporary account of the translation of the Hebrew Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Bible, into Greek. He presented himself as a pagan admirer of Judaism who held a high position in the court of Ptolemy II Philadelphus, 285 to 246 BC, in Alexandria. The writer used current Hellenistic literary conventions and the technical language of the Alexandrian court, but his Greek style and, hear me out, his Greek style and several historical inaccuracies, several, indicate that he was a deliberate archaist. So that's what we're pitting up. When you get a letter like this, you have to take this and you have to cross-reference it to the canon that we have. Now, why do I believe that that canon with the 66 book in it is enough for you to find salvation through Yeshua, to be able to inherit the kingdom, to be saved, to be able to follow his rules, to keep his commands, to walk in his light? Why do I believe this? Because Yah, everything that is done, he allows. Everything that is done. Nothing gets done without his allowance. He allows things to happen. Some of the worst things we've ever seen, ever imagined, there is a divinely intelligent, not no manly, no, a divine intelligence that went into the reasoning behind what he allows. And he allows it for a reason and a purpose. It does not happen if he does not allow it. Keep that in mind. Know that. He runs the show. Period. So, with that being said, let me find this for you. Let me see, did I bring it up? I'm not sure if I brought it up. Okay, here we go. So, when were the 66 books of the Bible canonized? Evidence suggests that the process of canonization occurred between 200 BC and 200 AD. And a popular position is that the Torah was canonized 400 BC, the prophets 200 BC, and the writings, so on and so forth. Okay, so 200 BC, 2022, 200 years, 2222, 2,222 years. That's how long the 60, supposedly, that's roughly how long the 66 canon books in the original canon have been around, for 2,222 years. The Most High has allowed this to be that for 2,222 years. So why do we need anything else? Why? I'm going to tell you later, and we'll talk about it in other discussions. I'm not even going to put it all in this one. We'll say that for another time. But just know, it's like Pastor Stephen Darby said. Rest in peace, Brother Darby. Knowledge is what destroys us. Trying to seek knowledge, forbidden knowledge, hidden knowledge, Dead Sea Scrolls, and that's what destroys us, because it takes us so far away from the simplicity of the Bible. We haven't even mastered that yet. Every time I read the Bible, I find something new. With new information, with new wisdom, with new discernment. I have a different approach. I have a different mental approach. I'm seeing things a little more clear now. Things are making more sense than they did now than when I was 30. Or from 30 when I was 20. I look at my 20-year-old self and say, man, I was really stupid. I didn't know anything. So that's why for these 2,222 years, people are still debating it. People are still studying it. People are still going to theological schools and trying to be scholars. They're still doing that. Not too long ago, a few years back, my cousin, he became a preacher after going to school, learning about this. He's preaching now. Now he's fully into his Church of Christ thing over there. But they're still studying it. And we've had debates. And there were still things that he didn't know. After going to school for all of those years, there were still things that I was able to share with him that he was able to learn from me, because it's perspective. The more you mature, the more you grow, the more wisdom you get, the smarter you get to be, and the Most High allows you to be able to absorb the information that you're receiving in the manner that he wants you to receive it. He tells you that he can give people grand delusions. Your whole life you think you're smart and you think you know what you're talking about. And then you find out later in life that everything you based your life on was a lie. So this canon that's here, these are basic instructions. These are basic rules, basic history. That's what it is. And you can use this, and you can learn about the Most High, and you can learn about Yeshua being our King and our Savior. You can learn about the Ruach being left here as a gift to lead us away from sin. You can learn about that right there. You can learn about what to do, what not to do. A comment that was left as a reply to my comment that I put on Brother TCA's channel. The brother said that his father raised quail and lamb, and they ate snakes and chickens and chicks, and they did all of those things. So it's primarily how something is raised, not by how something particularly looks either. Because if you get a quail and you get a chicken and you skin them and they raw, they both look the same. One just looks slightly bigger. That's it. So you can't just get into the looks of which one is pretty. That's not the way to go about it. Because best believe, nothing looks like a peacock when it's fried up. And you also have to take this into consideration as well. So, at what point do you decide to eat something that you have known to maybe be forbidden or unclean when you're starving? Your family's starving. So you telling me that you're starving, the kids are starving, and you're praying to the Most High, and you're asking him for some food, and he sends a flock of chicken past you. You're just gonna say, that's not what the sign I was looking for. That's not the food that I wanted. The same chicken you ate a million times. He didn't send some chicken your way, and you gonna say no, but your kids are starving. So you have to think about things in context too. Now, why do I bring that up? Well, we're not starving. Wait a minute. You sure? This is Fortune. Russia-driven food shortage means cereal and corn will start running out in 2023. UN, United Nations, warns the world faces the risk of food. The world faces the risk of food shortages. So, this is obviously part of the pandemic. Next phase, food shortages. Start playing with the water. I told people before, you start playing with the water, you start playing with the food, you start playing with the banking systems, you can make people do whatever you want them to do. You can make them take whatever chip, whatever microchip, whatever marked, whatever vaccine, whatever you want them to do, they're going to do once you start playing with the food and the water, the groceries, and the money. You start messing with that, yeah, people are going to bow down. And you're going to see a lot of these people who said they wouldn't do this or wouldn't do that or won't do this or won't do that. You're going to see, this is going to be the great falling away. You know, it's happening before our eyes. This is, you know, Endgame. This is Revelations. You know, 2 Timothy speaks on it. This is what you're going to see. You're going to see people breaking away. People who, yeah, they had, you know, all of these morals and views. And, you know, this is clean, that is clean, this is right, that is wrong. And those people are going to bow down. And you're going to see who they really serve when they get put to the fire, when they get put to the test. Which is another reason why you need to prepare yourself. Don't look for people. Don't look for man. Look to the Most High. Look to the Most High. That's what you need to be looking towards. Don't look towards man, because man will lead you astray every time. And then when it goes down, he's not going to be there to have your back, and he ain't going to be able to back you up. So don't look towards men. You got to go to the Most High. If you have a problem, you have something that you know that's on your mind, he tells you it's exactly how it is. Philippians 4 and 6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Present your request to the Most High, and that's where you'll get your answers. And that's where you'll even answers to questions like, is chicken clean, or can I eat chicken, or, you know, can I eat eggs? Can I eat something with eggs in it? Asking, it will be given to you. Seeking, you will find. These are the answers. You want to know the truth. You want to know the answers. Matthew 7 and 7. Seeking, you will find. Knocking, the door will be open to you. He's telling you over and over, over and over, over and over. James 1 and 5. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask Yah, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. So this tells you over and over and over and over. There's a million scriptures like this telling you, come to him. Don't come to me. Don't come to Watchman Reports. Don't come to Truth and Edited. People who, you know, I watch and I study under these brothers who I've seen their studies, and I appreciate their works. The Most High is telling you, don't come to them. Don't come to me. Don't come to us. Go to him. Go to him. Everything that we do is for you to go to him. Everything. Even this conversation about the chicken. The conversation of the chicken, I've not known this any of this brother TCA to be someone who is just trying to convert the world. I haven't known him to that. He's giving out information. He's doing research. He's giving out information, and you have to be the one to, as he says, eat the meat, spit out the bones. Unless it's chicken meat, apparently. But That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take that, and you're supposed to pray on it, and you're supposed to ask the Most High, hey, can you lead me to the truth of this, so that I'm walking correctly in my walk. I'm doing things correctly. Because I'll be honest, I was talking to my wife, and I was like, man, when you think about how easy it is to sin, you can sin in a thought. A thought is an action. You can actually sin just in a simple thought. And by that account, chicken is the least of my concerns. Because I done thought all kinds of, I done been angry, sad, mad, all kind of emotions and feelings I've had. Even in the walk, out the walk. So, if chicken is going to get me cast to the lake of fire, even if I didn't eat chicken ever again, I still got a lot of stuff to think about. You know, it's much bigger than that. It's much bigger than that, for sure. And I don't know why some of these didn't pop up. Let me see. And we'll go here. Matthew 15 and 16. Much bigger than just chicken. Are you still so dull? Yeshua asked them. Another way to put that. Don't you understand yet? Do you not? Are you still unclear? Are you still not understood? Are you still without understanding? Don't you see that whatever enters the mouth, let me go back here. Whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach and then out of the body. But the things that come out of a person's mouth come from the heart, and these defile them, and these defile them. The things that come out of your mouth. So it's much bigger than just eating. And that goes for anything. For out of the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false testimony, and slander. So that's much bigger than eating a chicken. Murder. You ate a 2-piece and somebody else murdered somebody. You telling me that they getting judged the exact same way? Is that what you're saying? Come on, man. That doesn't even make sense. That's outrageous. That's outrageous. We have to put things in a context. We have to keep things simple. We don't need to be confused about what's going on. I got another one I pulled up here too. Hold on. Colossians 2 and 16. And having disarmed the powers and authorities, he made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them by the cross. Therefore, do not let anyone judge you by what you eat or drink, or with regard to a religious festival, a new moon celebration, or a Sabbath day. Let's go ahead and run that back. And having disarmed the powers and authorities, he made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them by the cross. Therefore, Do not let anyone judge you by what you eat or drink, or with regard to a religious festival, a new moon celebration, or a Sabbath day. So what does that mean? What does that mean? If you're looking at this, think about if you have children or you have little children in your family, cousins, nieces, nephews, how would they interpret this scripture? Do not let anyone judge you by what you eat or drink, or keeping your Sabbaths or celebrations or feast days or festivals. How would they interpret this? Should this be a discussion that brings division? Should eating chicken or eating eggs be a discussion that brings division by the accounts of Colossians 2:16? No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be that difficult. It shouldn't be that confusing. Now, people have a tend to run with things just the way they see fit. So I want to make this absolutely clear. After receiving the information from the videos of TCA, we took a halt. We took a halt on chicken. But for over a month. But we did it wrong. Because we watched TCA. We did what I'm telling you not to do. We watched TCA and instantly we just put a halt on the chicken. Okay. Wait a minute.
Well, that makes sense.
Something's wrong. That makes sense to me. That was the improper chain of command. TCA wasn't the person we were supposed to be listening to in making the actual decision. He was the person that we were supposed to be listening to pray to the Most High on whether we should make that decision, whether we should act on the information that we received from him. So, afterwards, that's what we did. We prayed on it. We're still praying on it. It's still in motion. Still praying on it. Praying to find out if it's okay, if it's not okay, to lead us to the truth. Still praying on it. As of right now, I have not, from the Bible, I have not seen anything for that makes it forbidden. I look at, even when he went to the letters of Aristeas, he was talking about geese. That was one that was said that you can eat. Oh, you can eat geese. That's fine. Okay. Then somebody commented and said, "Oh, geese are really aggressive," and that was kind of skipped over. It wasn't like they didn't really touch on how aggressive they are. I've been attacked by geese before. So, yeah, they are very aggressive. And then people think that they just have a completely herbivorous manner or omnivorous manner that doesn't include eating other living things besides insects. That's not true. And I'm going to show you that here. Check this out. Fish in his mouth. That's a fish right there. Now I can't see from this angle if that fish has fins and scales. I can't see from this angle, but that's a fish right there for you. You can't tell if that fish, or they chasing them down for it. So they all want something. He ain't just like a special one of the special geese in the world that you don't want. No. They all they following him everywhere he goes. To get that fish. And he's not not playing around. Dropped it, went down there, and picked it right on back up. Yeah, I don't know if that has fish scales. I can't tell. Right. He didn't top half the fish. So we don't know if what that meat is eating is clean or unclean. We don't know. What if it's unclean? And then you go by the letters of Aristeas and then you eat that. So haven't you defiled yourself now? Think about it. Come on. Think about it. Let's go into, I don't know how to pronounce this, Phasianidae. That's what it looks like. And this one down here is Phasianidae and Meliagrididae. I don't know. But the Phasianidae is the pheasant family, a bird family order of the galliforms that includes among its members the jungle fowl, from which the domestic chicken is descended, partridge, peacock, pheasant, and quail. Some classifications assign the turkey to the Phasianidae, whereas several others place it in the family of the Meliagrididae. So, to count out turkey, because I don't eat turkey. We don't eat turkey. I do understand the implications of turkey vultures and scavengers. I do understand that. I do agree with that. But the jungle fowl, going back to Africa, East Asia, jungle fowls, from which the domestic chicken is descended. Now, going back to the letters of Aristeas, it says you can eat the partridge, which is also in the family. I don't know if it said you can eat the peacock in the letters. I do believe I seen the pheasant, and I definitely seen the quail. So, now, let me ask you this. Use your sense. Use common sense. They all Phasianidae, right? All the pheasant family, right? So, are you saying it's okay to eat partridge and quail and pheasant, but then it's not okay to eat chicken and jungle fowl? But they're all part of the same family?
I mean, I looked more into it. The jungle fowl is the direct descendant. The chicken is not hybridized. It's
right.
domesticated.
Right. It's domesticated.
It's
the chicken
between different breeds of jungle fowl. I think it's the red one and
right.
the gray one or something like that.
Right. So the chicken and there's other colors too.
Yeah, but it's the same family. It's all the same family.
It is all the same family. They come from the jungle fowl. They're breed of one jungle fowl with another jungle fowl makes a chicken. It's not hybridized or anything. It's a jungle fowl makes a chicken. They're all, like I said, in the same family of the partridge, the pheasant, and the quail, which the letters of Aristeas say is okay to eat. So what are we doing? What are we doing? How is one okay and then another not okay? Or if you look at the picture that I used for the thumbnail for this video, you see grass-fed chickens. Grass-fed chickens. Never seen a rooster. Don't eat rats on a farm. Grass-fed chicken. That's all they eat. So you're telling me that that's unclean? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. What we ended up getting into is a discussion of, it's a lot of semantics, one. Two, it's very situational. You go online, you look up chicken eating this, chicken eating that, And you're going to find that. You look up anything. Look, this is a true story. On the way from, I believe it was Korea. Wasn't he? Isn't
No,
it Korea?
no. I think he's from Vietnam.
Vietnam, that's it. A friend of mine, Pong, from Vietnam, on his way on the ships to get to America. It's a very long trip, and there's really not much food at all. So when somebody could tell, like, hey, I'm dying, they would tell their closest family member or their loved one, look, when I die, take me downstairs and you eat me so you survive, so you make it. And my friend had to eat his uncle to get here. This was years before I even met him. You know what I'm saying? On the ocean. On the ocean carrier coming to America, he had to eat his own uncle. So, and he's alive and he's well till this day. So you don't. So that's the only thing he could have eaten. That's the only thing there. They done ran through the rats months ago. They done ate the dog before they even got on the boat. They ate the rats in the beginning half of the trip, and now people dying. They eating people. So
I think many people are going to take that wrong because they're going to be like, oh, well, that's not Israel, but
okay, okay. Now look. Mm-hmm. If it was Israel, mm-hmm. and there's nothing else. There's nothing you can do.
Most people,
so it's just die.
People say they would, but they don't understand the madness, the insanity that comes with starvation at that level.
I'm telling you. Look, you don't know what the Most High got planned for what's about to come. You about to see some. If you think eating chicken is bad, you about to see some. What did it say? The blood is gonna be up to the horse's girdle or something. Bridle. Like, come on. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be madness. Starvation. People will eat their own tongue. They're gonna be so hungry. Like, y'all need to figure out at this point. Y'all need to figure out what are you doing to, as Moses said, choose life. What are you willing to do to choose life, to truly choose life? Because it's not just gonna be peaches and creams and how you want. It's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be I'm a vegetarian or I'm a vegan, so I don't have to. No, they getting rid of the crops. They making it to where farmers can't even sell their crops. They putting halts on those. You see what I just said about the UN talking about corn. Next year, this ain't a million years from next year. They talking about worldwide global food shortages. And what you're doing is you're further restricting yourself even more on what you can and can't eat. You sound stupid. You sound like somebody that's not willing to survive and prepared. Seriously. Like you're gonna go through a lot. If you're not prepared, you're gonna go through a lot. Because it's gonna be hard times. The rioting is gonna start. They talking about civil war and civil unrest and like, come on, man. It's not no time to play games. It's not no time to be picky. Beggars can't be choosers. Like, that's where we at with it. Let's stay in prayer, and whatever he gives, if he throw a cow at you half cut off, that's what you get. But if he throw a chicken your way and you in a forest somewhere and there ain't nothing else around and you just not gonna eat, like, come on, man. You gotta think about that. You really do. You gotta put things into perspective, because sometimes things like that happens. I think I had. Let me see. that it? Yeah, that was that. Yeah, that was it. But, you know, I'm just going to leave you on this, brothers and sisters. Whatever you decide to do, don't do it because of the image. We get caught up in that a lot. Socially, we get caught in the image. What something may look like in a certain situation, in a certain environment, how things change and maybe adapt. Don't get caught up in the image. Make the Most High and His Word and the teachings of our King, our Melekish, Yahushua, and the guidance of that Ruach, man. I can't stress that enough. That's how you need to rock with this. You know, it has to come from there first. You know, that's it. It has to come from there first, and it has to end there. Anything in between, there's going to be a lot of speculation from man and from different literature and things like that. But it has to, Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. It has to start and end with Yah every time out. Stay in prayer. Pray on it. You know, ask Him to give you the signs. That's what I'm doing. Ask Him to give us the signs so that we are walking correctly. Because I don't want anybody to make a mistake, even if it's Brother TCA. Continue to pray on it. Don't just let one research be the end all be all. Continue to pray on it. Because what is the truth yesterday may not be the truth tomorrow. Because things change, times change, desperation sets in, status quo changes, information, wisdom changes. Although Yah stays the same. So I love you. I thank you all for coming and check me out on this first video. I'm gonna dedicate putting, you know, a video out at least once a week. I want to get a video out to you guys because there's so much going on, and I just want you to be physically, mentally, spiritually, and even on a secular level, financially or emotionally prepared for what's to come, because hard times are coming. You know, I really truly believe the beginning of Jacob's trouble is coming soon, you know, and it's going to be undeniable soon. So, you know, thank the Most High for giving us this day. This is the day He has made for us. For His love, His sacrifices, His blessing, His patience, His mercy, His wisdom, giving us and lending us the understanding that we need just to make it through. I love you, brothers and sisters. Shabbat Shalom to you all. Thank you again. If you haven't and you enjoyed the content, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It definitely will help the algorithm if you like. And I'll see you on the next video. Shalom.